bring in the people that are closest to you as counsel, right? The ones that you know are not going to say yes just because they're your family, right? Bring those people and have that conversation. Do not put it on social media. Like, it doesn't need to be there. Not everything you think about needs to go to the public. Welcome, everyone, to T Minus, brought to you by Three.Two.One. I'm your host, Daniel Melick.
Jeff Malchuk.
Carrie Sobel.
John Janis.
So, really, already?
I didn't realize that we had to have a
already.
This is technology.
It's my first time.
That's right.
So, I was actually at a farmer's market on Sunday, and walking around, maybe I'm the only one, but I walk around and I look at these businesses, and I'm very curious of how do they stay open and how do they make money. You ever walk by like a business that's been open for 5 years near your neighborhood and you're like, how are you still open? You sell beef jerky for a living.
Raging Cajun near our old office was a bike shop that I'm pretty sure I never saw anyone go in.
Yeah.
It's probably a money laundering pit or something like that. Yep. But you see shoe repair companies and all these places that you literally say, how do you even pay your rent? How is it possible that you can make enough money to pay your rent repairing shoes?
Yeah, I don't get it either. There's also a CD store right on Orange Avenue. And cover up, I'm pretty sure that's a cover up for something. Who buys CDs?
I think that's the focus point for entrepreneurs. I guess even people like Carrie that buy and sell businesses. I don't know how you can walk by places like this and be like, this place has literally been open for 7 years, and I've never seen one customer in there. Like, how are they making money?
As retail continues to die, the stuff that's more easily accessible online, those are the first targets. But some people, their businesses are coming to an end, and also doing that business brokerage. You're seeing some businesses reach out to me to sell, and I just frankly say I'm not going to be able to sell your business because it's obsolete. Amazon.com, there's no reason for your business anymore. So, unfortunately, most people, when they decide they want to sell their businesses, it's because they're failing. It's not because
they're retiring.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Segueing into that, it looks like obviously retail's dying based on all the stores closing down. But looking at it, it seems like everything's shifting, obviously digital when it comes to building business and entrepreneurs. I just feel personally that it is a buzzword now. I think way too many people overuse the term, and I think it's just becoming a fad rather than a reality because it seems like everyone can say they are, but the execution and the lasting process that it takes to actually build a business, very few and far between people can actually do it, right? I just don't know. I think that also hurts like investment, right? So if everyone says they're an entrepreneur and everyone has an idea and they lack execution, how does investors come along and actually look at your business and look at, I guess, the hustle that you have, right? If everyone says they're doing it, it's kind of like, everyone, it's not quantifiable anymore because everyone's saying they're doing it now, and now you have to filter through, 1,500 people and not 15 people anymore.
Well, I think that's just kind of a market reaction to how much more accessible it is for you to start a business these days. The internet opened up so many doors for people who didn't have access to resources or didn't have a platform to distribute, which they now have. So I think this is kind of a side effect of a lot of people jumping in to take advantage of the accessibility of the internet and start a business who may not have, the experience or the right social group or something like that to get started.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like you just have a different level of respect for the integrity of the entrepreneurship. I mean, somebody that goes on that still starts their own business online do have that entrepreneurial spirit. They are technically an entrepreneur, but it comes down to people that have built empires before the internet existed and actually sit down and write a full-fledged business plan. You're going to have a little bit of a higher level of respect for that entrepreneurial effort. But, somebody that opens up a drop shipping company, goes on to LegalZoom, starts an LLC and has a business, technically they are an entrepreneur. I mean, maybe it's a different level of respect or, there's a different investment of time and energy and knowledge, but...
Old world, new world?
Yeah, old world, new world.
I guess just my philosophy when it comes to entrepreneurship is just do it and not stop talking about it, right? Especially in your infancy stages. Like until it's proven and you actually have some type of stream of revenue on a regular basis and you executed the plan, don't have a conversation online about it. Don't like brag that you're an entrepreneur or talk about entrepreneur life and talk about how much you're hustling online. It's just like, just do it and don't put it out there because one, now people are going to hold you accountable to it. And then two, it's kind of like if you're talking so much about it, why aren't you just like getting involved in the process on a day-to-day? If you're a real entrepreneur, you should not have time to tweet and post on Instagram every day about how much you're hustling. It boggles my mind that I see so much of that, but the ones that are moving quietly on social media are probably the ones that are being more successful.
Well, it's a different perspective. That comes down to the people that want the spotlight to say I'm a business owner or I'm so busy hustling, posting pictures. I mean, that's more of a smoke and mirrors type of thing where people are doing it for publicity or for what other people's perception is of them rather than making money or building an empire. So I definitely agree with you on that point. It's really annoying to see all of the, I'm using quotes here, the entrepreneurs who are still entrepreneurs, but they're doing it for the spotlight rather than success or a financial gain.
They should be called idea makers. I think being an entrepreneur is not only starting something, but finishing it. And then you hire people to do the social media for it. It's like now anybody has an idea, fidget spinner. There's a bazillion different kinds of fidget spinners, a bazillion different, these things are getting 3-4 million views in like 6 weeks.
I actually got a solicitation for fidget spinners with a Three.Two.One logo on it. Somebody took the time to send me one mocked up in an email and said, these could help you grow your business. I was just mind blown that someone's actually doing that right now. They sent me an email addressed directly to me. They looked up me, my title and everything, and sent me a picture of a Three.Two.One fidget spinner. I almost bought it.
And to me, hilarious. I think that's just a really good salesperson, right?
Sure. That's hustle.
That's hustle.
That's what
I'm
I
saying.
mean. That thing is just like you create something and people go with it. That's what I think an entrepreneur is. Even though it was created by, I believe, a woman that was creating tools for autistic children.
Yeah, I believe the reason why the fidget spinner exploded so recently is because the original patent went up. So now everybody has access to manufacture it if they can. So
and then the entrepreneur came in and said, oh man, my kids are going to love these things. Boom. Website, boom. AdWords, AdSense, boom. Entrepreneur. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think that's just like serial entrepreneurs that like build small businesses just to make a lot of money real quick, frequently on trends, right? So
catch a quick wave type of deal.
Yeah, like they probably have 4 different drop shipping companies, right? Selling fidget spinners, selling whatever they have. That's available to them that are trending right now. They'll sell rompers right now if they could.
Right, but those guys aren't like making it rain on social media. Ooh, you know what I mean? Everybody else is doing that for them.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying is I think that it's overused. The word entrepreneurs is very overused, and it's bothering the hell out of me right now because I think it's taken away from actual entrepreneurs that are doing it, right? So it's funny. 20 years ago, you called yourself an entrepreneur, and people are looking at you, oh, you don't have a job, right? That's all you're saying. Oh, no, entrepreneur, no, you don't have a job. Now you say an entrepreneur, you're like, oh, you are making millions and millions of dollars now because that's in today's society and culture. That's what it means. So it's easy for people to say, but are they doing it right?
I guess it's subjective at this point. What do you define as a benchmark for a person that is an entrepreneur? How do you quantify it?
Anyone that is starting a business, to be honest, and
so all the people that you said earlier that you despise are still entrepreneurs.
They are, technically. I think it's just the mentality of actually being a real entrepreneur when it comes to longevity of it, right? So anyone can start an LLC tomorrow, start a business tomorrow. Technically it makes them an entrepreneur, but are they successful?
It's a business owner,
right? I pick up a basketball and I play basketball. It doesn't make me a basketball player. I guess it technically does. I'm playing basketball. But am I a professional?
You played basketball for 10 years. Are you a pro?
Correct.
No, you know how to do stuff, but you're not a pro.
Am I a professional at it, right? That's the biggest thing. Am I in the NBA or did I make it even D1 or D-League, right? Am I in that realm?
There's no NBA for
gauge, right?
entrepreneurs, So like, there's like no institutionalized.
Agreed.
Like,
That's I think that's the harder part is filtering through even that, because there is no, like, I guess you're certified now as an entrepreneur. It's literally everyone talking, and then you kind of filter through and say, okay, this one's actually really doing it, right? And I think that's the hardest part, is saying there's a lot of noise out there when it comes to entrepreneurship, and everyone that's saying they're doing it. Look, just go to Instagram, look up the hashtag entrepreneur. It's
True.
atrocious.
I'm actually really excited to do that. I'm going to do that right now. Just have some good content.
So while he's doing that, Dan, let me ask you, what type of entrepreneur has been bothering you lately?
I would say the worst type is, well, I guess this is the thing. They're not really entrepreneurs, and that's the reason it bothers me. It's every type of multi-level marketing person that says, I'm a business owner and I am an entrepreneur life. I'm hustling, work your own hours, don't work for somebody else. I'm like, actually, you are working for somebody else, but they're legally not going to pay you a salary. You are a reseller of a product, and they're legally trying to hold you not accountable for whatever you say or do for them, so they don't get sued, and you can if you need to, but they're protecting their product because it's usually a money machine rather than an actual product or service that they're providing.
Yeah, because they're not really selling a product. They're selling to get
Ponzi's.
more distributors underneath
Schemes.
them, right?
Right. And the whole idea of multi-level marketing makes sense in some type of way. If everything was checked and balanced.
If it's like 1914 in France and feudalism, man, I got those dates wrong.
Yeah, you did, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Anyway,
right
go
now.
on.
Yeah, I'm going to have to Google feudalism.
Yeah,
but
that escalated fast.
I'll go ahead and
All I know is
This morning.
Nutrilife.
Nutrients.
What is it? What's it called? Nutrilife.
I know what you're talking about. It's like the health thing.
Oh, Herbalife.
Herbalife.
Yeah.
Herbalife. It works. I can go on and on, right? I think Mary Kay is the one. Like Amway and Mary Kay.
Mary Kay is the
Ponzi.
ones, right?
Yeah.
But Mary Kay has like checks and balances. They're
Pyramids.
like, you have to sell X amount of products before you can actually bring someone underneath you.
Yeah, my wife actually got a solicitation from a friend's mother of Mary Kay Friday in the mail. And I looked at it and I looked at her and I'm like, why? She goes, well, it's a friend's mom and she's just trying to get me on board. And it's like that type of stuff is what bothers me with entrepreneurship.
Pyramids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and granted, there's a lot of people that do the multi-level thing that make a ton of money. But that doesn't necessarily make them an entrepreneur, does it?
No, I don't.
Because it's not their own business.
That's a business.
It's not their own
It
business.
contradicts
They're
what
just-
we defined as a entrepreneur earlier.
They're selling a product.
Well,
That is
Someone else's product.
Yeah.
They're a reseller.
Yeah, but not only that, but they're just selling it to their friends by guilting them.
Right,
Yeah.
and I think that's even the worst part that bothers me about multi-level marketing people and resellers is if it's that good of a product, stop selling to your friends and family, right? Like if it really works and it's a real great product, then other people that you have back up. If you're that good of a salesperson, you should be able to sell to someone off the street and not sell to your mom or cousin or whatever, which they're going to buy from you just because you're, off general principle, they're going to do it. Now you're just leveraging people's empathy and affection for you and care for monetary gain.
I learned that lesson when I was 18. I actually joined my first multi-level marketing. It was called ACN.
Oh, God.
You know about ACN?
Yes, I know
Okay.
about ACN.
I don't. Please
Okay.
fill me in.
The worst part about it is I can't actually tell you what the product is. It's some type of telecommunication system that I sold to my mother and father, my aunts and uncle, and my brother, and I believe my grandparents. And then when I left, they all complained to me on how terrible the service was, and they were stuck with this contract for 2 years, and I was no longer doing ACN. I did get to hear Donald Trump speak at ACN, which was very interesting. This is probably 2005, so different time than it is now. But he was the keynote speaker, and I don't remember anything from that actual conference except that speech. Not that I'm a fan.
Right.
But so I sold to my family and my friends and multi-level thing, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was my first and last experience, I must say.
Hindsight's always 20/20, but how do you feel now about it?
Oh, I felt terrible right afterwards. I sold a crappy product to my friends and family that I love. They were the easiest targets. So when I was a 18-year-old entrepreneur, of course, I went to my parents and my friends and family and said, hey, guys, I got this new business. I'm an entrepreneur. You should buy from me. So that's pretty much underlining exactly what you're saying.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Is
Don't do that.
Don't
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. If if it's really a product that you believe in, and for some reason you believe cures cancer, well, one, stop saying that, and two, stop selling to your friends and family. And if it's really that good, then you should be able to set up shop and sell it to anybody, regardless, right? And I think that business model, that the MLM business model, is what's killing or giving a really bad taste with the idea of entrepreneurship, right?
It's funny too because people hear pyramid scheme, multi-level, and they get scared of it, but yet they still do it because it's easy. I'm not going to call it a cop-out, but it's a cop-out.
Of course. Of course.
Because multi-level is really selling to your friends and family. That's all
really
it is. That's it. That's your first exposure. That's the low-hanging fruit.
And that's what every single consultant or rep tells you to do.
Sure.
Is get inside your network, which is your friends and family, and just sell to them, and you'll make X amount of money, and then you get them to sign up, and they blah, 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 blah. It's not a pyramid.
Yeah, but
it's a pyramid.
A lot of these people, they're fascinated by all the social media hype, so they join these things, and then they sell to all their friends and family, and damn, Christmas and Thanksgiving suck because they just ripped off their own family unintentionally, and it just sends a pyramid of bullshit later after that. So I think you really got to educate yourself before you get in these things. I never really sold stuff, but, well, yeah.
I mean, these people are salesmen. They're not entrepreneurs. They're salesmen for an entrepreneur. The entrepreneur convinced this person to sell to their friends and family. So the real entrepreneur is the guy sitting at the top. And everybody else underneath, are they an entrepreneur or are they a salesman?
They're a salesperson.
They're a salesperson.
The guy on top bought everything.
Yeah.
He gave the money to make it what it is. That's the entrepreneur.
He probably sat down, wrote a business plan, did some forecasting, had an exit strategy, put the time in to create a business model which involved salesmen, or as they call themselves, entrepreneurs.
Right.
So I think that's the multi-level, when you look at it from that type of perspective, really paints a picture. It deviates a little bit from the topic of people going online and pounding their chest, saying I'm an entrepreneur on social media, but it's the same type of idea, just on a different platform.
It's a very odd culture, or cult-esque culture, when it comes to like multi-level marketing people. You ever talk to them? It seems like they got brainwashed and forgot how to be logical or rational to anything you say.
Yeah, I can definitely understand where you're coming from on that one.
Like, you talk to them, you're like, what are you saying right now? Like, everything I'm saying, 0.01% or 0.02% on one of the MLM websites says you will be successful. And they're like, oh, no, that's just what? That's actually from the website. Well, those are people that aren't hustling. I'm like, no. That's statistically how many people are actually going to make money. So what are you claiming to your friends and family? Also, if you are just selling product, fine, I get it. But if your first thing out of your mouth is, do you want to make more money? Sign up with me. Give me money to train you on how to sell this product. That's very pyramid-esque, and I think that's where people get in trouble, is they start talking about being a reseller rather than buying the product itself. Because if you're buying the product, then you're just a salesperson. I get it. Now you're just collecting a $500 check to train other people how to collect $500 checks.
So then how do you feel about the people that don't label themselves as an entrepreneur but are in an MLM product
Here's the thing.
and sell it?
Like I said, from the most natural point of it, and I get it, and I think there is some type of business model where that makes sense, because you are, at the end of the day, you're an affiliate marketer, you're a reseller, I get that.
Trying to make a couple bucks.
Right, and you're selling a product that a marketing team and a sales team could have done anyway, right? So I understand the business model behind it. It's just the reading in between the lines of how it's done kind of breaks, for me, just the ethics of good business.
So if somebody is not out claiming to be an entrepreneur and hustling and posting on social media and trying to boost up their image, but they're going and selling
to random
products
people.
To random people in a What about the guy that is doing this, right? That's not asking for the spotlight, that's going to networking events around town, signing up for the weekly sessions where people meet and they just come in every week and push their product. How do you feel about them?
I'm fine with that.
Is that person an entrepreneur?
They have an entrepreneurial spirit in them,
but they're a salesperson.
but they're a salesperson, just like anything
But
else.
you have a higher level of respect because they're not reaching out to their immediate circle. They're going in to try to sell their product,
Right.
or not their product, their company's product, to people they don't know.
Do you knock the Verizon rep that tries to get you in the kiosk?
No.
No. In the mall? No. He's
Yeah,
trying,
but
he's
you
doing his
also-
job and selling a product.
You know
Yeah,
what,
but they're
I am-
also
I'm
not
sick-
labeled entrepreneur either.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Salesperson.
I didn't call him an entrepreneur. I said he's an entrepreneur spirit because he's kind of doing above and beyond a normal salesperson would from a strategic level, right? A normal salesperson just tries to sell to people. He's trying to build network. He's trying to, solidify relationships.
So you're talking about the multi-level guy going into the weekly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I understand that.
I
like,
thought you
I'm
were
just
still
saying-
talking about the kiosk.
Oh, no.
Because that is every bit of a salesperson.
That's just a salesperson that doesn't even give a damn about product and hates his job to begin with because he has to try to call down people that already have cell phones.
Exactly. And
On
on
their
told
cell
no
phones.
all day.
Like, I'm holding my cell phone, man. Hey, man, like, really? Do you see what I'm doing? This is not a good business way of doing business right now. Is trying to sell me in the middle of a mall.
What I don't like with these entrepreneurs, these magical entrepreneurs, is the life coaches that are maybe like 19 or 20 years old that don't have any experience,
Or
no
life.
resume, or resume.
Just a coach.
Not even life experiences.
A professional coach, or just talking about positivity, and now they're calling themselves this like epiphany or a prophet that's trying to help other people, and
Right.
they pay them money to let them talk about stuff that doesn't really even make sense.
Yep.
That actually is vile to me,
Oh,
and that's all over social.
Do you know what's even more vile for me?
What's that?
Is we work in marketing, digital marketing, right? We work in Facebook, we work in Google, and all these other products for big clients. I know people that call themselves digital marketers or digital gurus or digital geniuses, whatever they want to call themselves. They sell classes on how to sell classes to people about Facebook.
Like ClickFunnels.
Sure. It is literally, I'm going to teach you how to teach people without actually doing it.
Then it just confuses you to where you give them your money.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
Because nobody knows what that means.
Like, I'm going to teach you how to teach people how to set up Facebook without you ever setting up Facebook accounts. Wait, hold on. You're going to teach me how to do something without ever doing it? Yes, because the whole idea is to get money from people, to teach people how to teach people, to teach people.
And then how to teach people.
You know how damning that is for, like, our business, not our business, but our titles? Oh, what do you do? I'm a digital strategist. Oh, you're one of those guys. And like, no, I actually do it for companies. And, I don't teach anybody. I just do it. Like, I really get that sometimes. Like, oh, you work for blah blah blah, and oh, you do those courses, those webinars. I'm like, no, I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about. But
I never get that.
it's I'm related to it now.
You do it for yourselves and your clients. You don't do it to try to get people's money to, smoke and mirrors type of thing. But I don't know. I feel like the whole term digital to a lot of people is so confusing that it's just an easy thing to throw at people to make you feel important or make you feel like you have, some type of level up on the internet. But everybody out there is a digital strategist or is an expert.
Yeah,
But
everyone has access to the internet, and so why wouldn't they consider themselves an expert on the internet?
I think it's very arrogant for anyone to say they're a complete expert in digital because you're not. You can't be.
would you consider yourself an expert?
In certain mediums or certain strategic approaches or tactics, sure, because they're slightly growing. But digital in general is growing faster than I can keep up, that anyone can.
It's too big for one person to know everything.
But then specific trades inside
That's
of
what
the
I'm
digital
saying.
umbrella.
Correct.
Like if I asked you,
No.
John, are you an SEO expert? You would say yes.
I would say yes.
Yes.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But saying I'm a digital expert.
Yeah, that's like saying you're an expert of.
It's like saying you're a kitchen expert.
Well, it's like saying you're a
There's so
business
many parts
expert.
Yeah.
in the
You
kitchen.
just know everything about business.
That's a good analogy.
You know?
That's a good one.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. It's very arrogant for anyone to say I'm a guru of all things digital or I'm an expert in everything digital, which it doesn't have the restraints to be that. Right? There's no boundary where you're like, okay, I hit the wall. Now I'm an expert because I know everything. That wall is forever growing while you're like trying to keep up to it. So you're never going to be an expert at all things digital because it's never going to end. Like the technology, the understanding of it, the growth, the evolution just never stops. So that means you can never stop, right? So that's why I find it just very humorous when I see digital expert in someone's LinkedIn. I'm like, what does that mean? In what? You know, in AdWords? Sure. SEO? Sure, I get it. But in everything, that's very arrogant, and I usually kind of cringe.
So then you can probably see a pretty strong differentiation and level of respect for you when you look at somebody who calls himself a guru or an expert that's posting to sell or posting to share versus posting to educate, right? So the people that actually you do have respect for, that are thought leaders, that are posting things that educate, that provide facts and insights to people rather than, hey, buy this, it works, right? There's a big difference in sharing knowledge. And those are the people that probably are successful, right? Because they're not going on, they're not hungry for the one click or the one sign up. They want to build their brand. They already have some type of exposure or some type of respect level from the audience, which probably isn't just their friends and family, right? These people that are posting thought leadership, little nuggets of information probably already have brand equity, whether it's their name or their company they're representing.
And if they don't, they're doing it the right way.
Sure.
I mean, that's
what gets us to click, right? That's what gets us sitting at this table to look further is somebody that we respect or a company that we respect posting information that we're interested about. You know?
No, agreed, 100%. And I think there's a difference between saying I'm an expert in everything and saying I have experience in, right? So experience is going to drive knowledge. And that knowledge, if honed in correctly, should be able to teach, right? So I'm always about educating anyone and everyone that I can because that's the mentors that I got involved with, are the people that poured into me and said, hey, learn this as much as possible, keep growing. Now I'm at the age where I'm like, okay, I can start giving back to that as well, saying, okay, let me start pouring into people and saying, hey, this is everything I got, this is everything I know. Right, I don't know everything, but I know some things well. So here's what I know, and you can take it and run with it. Because that's the only way, especially our industry, can grow, is if we kind of mentor, young entrepreneurs that have that hunger but need the direction, right? Or that need kind of the guidance of how to get to here, but how to go beyond here as well.
So you sharing that information, what's your purpose for doing it?
Just because of my passion and love for this industry.
Sure,
because
that's what it is. It's passion, it's love, it's spreading the word. It's for no direct benefit.
There's no
for
benefit
you, right?
at all.
Exactly. Well, that's the key difference right there.
Well, and I think that's just your intent, right? So if you have good intent, like just for me, that's just good business. If you have good intent of what you do, that's just good business. So for me, I'm doing it because I passionately care about this industry regardless, and I don't care about just, my secrets are my secrets, I'm going to hold it in, and then when I die, they're going to the grave. That's not helping evolution of this, industry, of marketing, of advertising, of digital, and of technology in any type of way. That's the only way we as, a business can keep growing is by evolving. So if we always have this idea that we need to, silo ourselves and keep all our quote-unquote best secrets in-house, then they'll die here too. But here's the thing. It's not about the idea, it's about the execution. So I'm all about giving as many ideas as possible and different ways of doing things in the approach because 99% of it is the execution. It's how you do it. It's the tactical things. It's the detail, right?
Whereas the idea guy is usually the one that's getting the spotlight or getting noticed, but it's the execution guys that you really should have their respect for.
Correct. Because everyone has a great idea. Who can do it?
So, kind of circling back to what we were talking about earlier, what would you say to like a genuine, passionate entrepreneur startup with good intent? What would you say to them about like selling to their friends or involving their friends earlier in their business? What if they have a good product and they really need to use their social circle to get the word out?
Don't do it. It's pretty simple, right? I'm being honest, like, bring in the people that are closest to you as counsel, right? The ones that you know are not going to say yes just because they're your family, right? Bring those people and have that conversation. Do not put it on social media. Like, it doesn't need to be there. Not everything you think about needs to go to the public. To your friends that you don't even know their last name, you have to know how to spell it because you added them 3 years ago. They don't matter, right? until you're ready, until it's a solidified business, until it is something that you feel is sound, then you can start marketing to the public. But until then, just do the process, right? Just be involved in the day-to-day and actually hustle and actually put the work in, because that's all that matters. Like, for you to think that I have a product and I need to go to my friends and family to market it, again, is that even your target demo to market whatever product you have? Is your mom and her friends that are on Facebook the people you need to market whatever you're selling?